This paper slide is going to be on naming covalent bonds. Another name for a covalent bond, you might also see it called a molecular bond, so you called either one. In covalent bonds, you're going to have a nonmetal bonding with another nonmetal, and they are going to be sharing their electrons. Whenever you are naming any type of bond, you need to make sure that you have your periodic table available. And then we are going to start and practice some naming. I'm going to start with H2O, and most people are familiar with that one. That's water. The first thing that you need to do with when you're going to name this is going to name the element, both elements that are present in the formula. So if we take a look on our periodic table, if you do not know what the capital letter H represents, then you find it on your periodic table and you see that that is hydrogen. So we put down hydrogen, and then the O is over here, a nonmetal, and that is oxygen. So we put both of those down. Then what you're going to do is you're going to change the ending on the second element, and you're going to change that ending by dropping part of the name and adding IDE to it. After you've done that, then you're going to work on prefixes. And here's a list of prefixes. Only covalent bonds have prefixes, and what you need to do is look at your subscripts in your formula and then take a look at your prefix list. This list of prefixes is very important, and you should memorize them so that you don't have to continually look up the prefixes. So again, H in H2O, there are two of them, so we find 2, and that's the prefix di. So we're going to put the prefix di in front of hydrogen. Oops. And then we come over here to oxygen, and oxygen, there is one oxygen here, or else it wouldn't be in the formula. And so we find what the prefix for 1 is, and we see that that is mono, and so we're going to place that in front of oxygen. Now, you see here that there are 2 O's right next to each other. That's kind of hard to say, so what we do instead of keeping those 2 O's is we actually get rid of one of them, and so we call this monoxide. So H2O, common name for that is water, and it's used for drinking, cooking, bathing, washing clothes, among many other things. And its formula name is, the name of this is dihydrogen monoxide. So when you go home tonight, ask your parents for some dihydrogen monoxide and see if they're able to give you what it is you have asked for. Alright, so let's try another one. We're going to try this one next. SF6, and we look on our periodic table for S, and that is sulfur. So we're going to put sulfur right here, and then the F is fluorine. After we've done that, then we're going to change the ending of the second to fluoride, and then we're going to take a look at our prefixes. And here we have 1 sulfur, so we find the mono and place that in front of sulfur. Now, a lot of people would think that that's what you need to do. However, if it's the first element and there's only one of them, then we don't need the mono there, so we're going to take that away. Then we look at the fluoride, and that it has 6, and we find that is hexa. So we're going to squeeze hexa in here, and so now we have sulfur hexafluoride, and this is used in the manufacture of fertilizers and in making glass. Okay, try another one. Next one. Okay, ClF. Again, remember that these are all non-metals, so we're going to be looking here on the right side of the periodic table. We have chlorine and we have fluorine. So we're going to put our chlorine down here, and we just used fluorine, so we'll bring that back. And then we take a look at our subscripts. Chlorine has 1, or else it wouldn't be in that formula. Again, that's mono, but it's the first element, so we're not going to use the mono. So we go on to the next one, and there's 3, and that is tri. So we put tri in front of fluorine, but we also need to make sure that we change that ending to IDE. Okay, so this is chlorine trifluoride, This was investigated as a rocket propellant, but it's poisonous, so it's never actually been used as a rocket propellant. So hopefully you're getting the hang of how to name these covalent bonds. And let's try another one. The last one we're going to try is N2O5. N is nitrogen, O is oxygen. So we bring out our nitrogen. Let's get rid of that one. So we bring out our nitrogen, and then we need oxygen again. All right, now we have prefixes that are not, subscripts that are not ones. So we need A2, which is di, and we're going to put that in front of nitrogen. And then we need 5, which is penta. So we put that in front of oxygen, and what we need to do next is change that oxygen to IDE. And this is another one where, remember where we had the OO together? When you have an AO together, same thing. You don't need the A, so it's kind of difficult to say with it, pentaoxide. So we just drop off that A, and now we have dinitrogen pentoxide. And this is an unstable, potentially dangerous oxidizer, which is a chemical fuel needs in order to burn. Okay, so those are some examples of how to name covalent bonds, and things to remember then about this when you're naming covalent bonds are to always use those prefixes. Do not use mono on the first element, and if you have that AO or OO, turn it into just an O, like heptoxide, no A in there. And that's how you name covalent bonds.